Hey, folks, what's going on? The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Brought to you by Tag Accounting. Troy Ginzer is just an absolute legend. Keep Troy in mind for tax season. I mean, if you're like me, that process seems so daunting and screwed up. It's like, oh my God. But if you want it done right and you want to get more money back on the return, reach out to Troy Ginzer, Tag Accounting, 616-301-9516, or online at Tag CPA. Oh my God. TagCPA.net. Why? Who does net? Can it all be calm? TagCPA.net. What are the advantages of being homeless? What are the advantages of a net versus calm? Drop Troy a line, Troy at TagCPA.net. Anywhere in the United States, you too can take advantage of amazing tax services from Tag Accounting. While I'm at it, JM Synthetics, if you want to get the best, the absolute best in lubricants, heavy duty, light truck, car, snowmobile, side-by-side, whatever, JM Synthetics, distributing AMSOIL products. If you want to help Jason Mays from JM Synthetics in the purest way possible, call him at 616-747-0233 and then dictate the order to him. That's the easiest way to make this happen. That helps him. You can also order from his website, jmsynthetics.com, or also very, very helpful if you're in the neighborhood of Ionia Outdoors, which is like a shit kicker, everything bait shop, mossy oak type place, you know what I'm talking about. Kind of like in the middle of nowhere. Visit Ionia Outdoors, and JM Synthetics has a display there as well. Okay. And then Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast. They have several facets of the business that make them absolutely important. Okay. So if your computer breaks down at your home, or you want a new computer built, whatever it may be, for your needs, you basically say, yeah, I need this, and this. They build it, you get it. If you have a breakdown, whatever it may be, or you need an upgrade for a desktop or a laptop, they take care of that too. In fact, they did that for my laptop when I went to California for the Great Kidney Giveaway. They took a 10-year-old garbage machine and made that thing just hum like you wouldn't believe. Not to mention, if you have a business or you work for a business that needs an upgrade or a new setup for their IT or your IT, this is who you call. Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. It is the 19th of January, 2021. Coming to you, of course, from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
A happy guy. Oh, just a happy guy. Oh, just a look at that. The happy dog. Oh, just a... Good morning.
Zaniacs. Here's a man who's usually wrong, but he doesn't care. Here's a man who...
eat things that'll make a billy goat puke.
You're now rocking with the best. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast. And here's your host, Eric Zane.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. Smooth as always. Wow. I'm blown away by that every time I hear it. Kevin is going to be with me on Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia today. Boy, that's going to be a cataclysmic melting of the minds right there, as Kevin goes head-to-head with Dale. Both of the combatants will be situated in their home areas near and or around Muskegon, Michigan. A lot of brain power coming out of Muskegon right there. That'll be happening a little bit later on Patreon. Both the live stream and the recorded version of Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia. Late start today. I was busy grabbing some audio that I'll be playing for you very early on in the show. More on that in a second. Okay, now, real quick, let's go over the ground rules, the news, and the notes, and the things that you can do in order to get this show. First of all, audio podcasts, wherever you download podcasts. My gosh, if you could subscribe, rate, and review, I appreciate that. If you miss any of the spots where you can get it, just go to ericzaneshow.com, click free podcast, and off you go. Very, very simple. Audio podcast on demand. We live stream the show, facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Welcome to the people that are enjoying the show on Facebook. If you could, like it, like what I'm doing right now, either thumbs up, happy face, or I don't know, mad face, whatever, and share it. Share. So important every time. I'm just reminding you to do that, please. Periscope video brought to you by Blue Frost IT on Twitter, at Eric Zane Show on Twitter. The incredibly dwindling number of Twitter subscribers just dropping like a stone. I seriously have a theory about that since the Capitol insurrection, it's one of two things. Either the Capitol insurrection or just more and more people are realizing how worthless it is to follow your old pal Eric on Twitter. At Eric Zane Show on Twitter, Periscope video brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Retweet that and give me a heart button. I want the heart button, okay? I want to try to get more than 2. That's the goal. The almighty YouTube, you can follow the show there and watch it live. Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel, hit the bell notification, and hit the thumbs up. It's brought to you by F45 in Byron Center. Online at f45training.com/Byron Center. I'm on Instagram. That's brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Thank you, Mario. In fact, tomorrow we'll be doing Instagram instant trivia. Adam from Houghton Lake, Michigan won last time. And it seems like we've got the same crew of people playing that trivia game. It's real simple. On Wednesdays at 7 p.m., I go Instagram Live. And then I encourage you to hit the request to join button at the bottom of your device. And then I see it's like your little virtual raising of your hand. And it's always Josh Brown, Adam, Kevin Kuipers, Sarah Rook Ruck Rutch. It's Rook. Yeah, rhymes with Duke. And such. And sometimes Sam the Jew. And wow, so then it's always the same crew, and that's fine. But I'd like to increase the people who with a chance to win the crisp new $10 bill from MB Distributing. So follow on Instagram, and then be ready to go Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. It's that simple. Correspond with the show on email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. That's the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Okay. All right, big deep breath, late start today. Sorry about that. As we do this, let's see. We got our handful of ragtag people once again. Maybe even 24 of you. Good morning, everybody. I see is here. Man, it's the same great group. Thank you so much. All right. And is there still drama going on between Patriot Nick and Kenny in Nashville? I tried to get past that with those two yesterday, and I don't know. I hope so. I think over time they will then over time be really, really tight with each other. I'm hoping so. I want nothing more but joy between the parties. But I don't know. It just I brought them in on a conference call on Patreon yesterday, and I still think Kenny is a little charged up on this. So despite Nick sending him various memes and clips of love songs on Zaniacs United. Hopefully, they will be able to piece it together. All right. Joe Martinez not helping with a who cares with numerous crying emojis. Joe Martinez is, by the way, he is just fantastic. And my God, he showed up at the house yesterday. More on that in a second. And how what you did for me is already affecting things in a positive way. Today, a lot of things developed overnight. First of all, this talk about Kansas City Chiefs quarterback and arguably the most bankable player in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. Will he play? Okay, now I'm just going to say that he will play in the AFC Championship game against the Bills. It would be an absolute miracle because I think even if his brain is dripping out of his ears, he's going to lie about that. There is nothing that will keep this guy from playing. And I think that is the problem with this whole business about the NFL and concussions. They just lie about it, okay? And I don't know if there's any other way to get around that. Brett Favre speaks about it. It's actually quite a long clip. Brett Favre, who got like numerous concussions. So many concussions that it made him make stupid decisions like taking pictures of his penis and sending them to some chick reporter. There's a lot of that in the news today of dudes taking pictures of their wieners. An 18-year-old outs her mom and dad, and I believe an aunt, maybe an uncle, for being at the Capitol riot. Ugh. This is a mess. Whew. Hear why she did that. Ooh. Some weirdo was too scared to go back to Los Angeles because of how widespread COVID is. So he had a plan about where to stay till the all clear. Oof. A lot of questions on this. So many questions. We've got an asshole of the day to announce. Again, no sponsor on the asshole of the day. I tried to get Forever Law in West Michigan. They said, nah, we can't be sidled with asshole of the day. Like, what are you so scared of? Come on, get on it. Instead, they sponsored email of the day. All right. 2 emails for email of the day brought to you by Forever Law in West Michigan. And the general manager of the New York Mets is in some trouble for being a creep. But I think there might, I'm not so sure. I think it is, but there's a couple of variables in this story about the general manager of the New York Mets sending D pics to a person. Jared Porter is his name. He's only been on the job since like a month ago. There's a couple of things that are making this not nearly, it isn't like it. Well, it is. It is like he said, penis pics. It is too much. There's no question. But there's a couple of details that aren't really, that are kind of being glossed over. That could have led to where we are right now, and that is a lady saying, "Yeah, he sent me the old stiff penis pic," and this happened like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's now just surfacing, and that isn't a problem. The amount of time, because of the reason why she said she's doing it now. The reporter is a foreign reporter who was in the business of reporting. She's no longer in the business of reporting. So now she says that she said that she didn't report it then because she was worried about it hurting her career. Yes, that is, I guess, something you can say, but it kind of makes you look a little weird. Like, hey, I only want to report this and out this guy when I know that it can't affect. I don't want to extend myself and try to protect others for what I'm attacking this guy, Jared Porter, about now, since now it can't affect me. You know, I mean, that's so there's a couple of, well, I mean, because if something happened terrible to let's say Diana had something terrible happen at work, she would right away, she wouldn't be like, well, I don't want this to affect my career, so I'm going to wait until I'm out of the business. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit weird. I don't know how this is going to affect Jared Porter if this is gonna cause this guy to get fired because of these little nuances of the story that I'm discussing with you, which I haven't even told you about, but I will in just a second. Don't worry. It's a big story. All right. So this morning, it all came together. It was a damn good thing that Joe Martinez showed up at the household because he installed this thing that I've been pitching to you that I think you need to look into. And this isn't a commercial. That's coming up later on. But he installed this thing called the Remy Halo, REME Halo, HALO. And so he goes, hey, I want to install this thing because I want you to, experience it so you'll have an easier time talking about it on your show. I go, okay, great. So I shot video of him and I posted it. You probably saw the Latino lover. Ladies, he's not single, okay? So just look from afar. I made sure to get some nice, handsome profiles of the man. Oh, my God. Incredible. You can just feel the sex appeal. So he installs this device, and what it is this, it's a particular light that when it shines on things, microbes, bacteria, allergens, pollen, dust, viruses, even, it zaps it like a bug zapper, these little things, microscopic, and then that's it. They die on the bulbs. And then over time, you got to blow it off and clean it up every couple of years. But this thing works, and right away he installs it. And so the air goes through the furnace system. And in short order, it's going to circulate your air. And especially when the house is all closed up, it makes it less stuffy and less susceptible to you breathing anything that you shouldn't be breathing. So, okay, great. I go, awesome. And he goes, and since you have 4 dogs and 2 cats, this is really going to help. And I go, okay, yeah. So thanks for telling me my house stinks. But so he's in there, and it went really fast. And then he goes, can you tell yet? And I go, I can't. And then he goes, just wait. So sure enough, it was called into service, and it runs. It's working every time the fan goes on, and I keep that damn fan on all the time to rotate the air. But instead of circulating garbage air, now it's actually scrubbing the air. Hospitals use these damn things. And thank God, there was nothing that you could have installed that would have alleviated this issue. But what was in the air did fade quickly this morning because I don't know what the hell it is with freaking O'Neill, who is right here at my feet. And I got to get this sorted out. I don't know what it is, but you let him outside. I don't know if he goes outside and says, okay, when I go outside, this is my cue that I must now go inside and go to the bathroom. But yeah, that's a regular thing. And first of all, he goes downstairs to where it's not finished. I took up all the carpeting, thank God. And he still uses the frickin' basement as his bathroom. My God. And so it's like he's going backwards today. Let him outside. Feed the dog. After I let him outside, he's out there for extended time. He comes in the house, and then I pack lunches. And then as I'm packing lunches, I'm like, okay, what's up? Well, the cat's maybe downstairs. And I don't know why it's always a mystery to me every time. It's like this happens so often. How could this possibly be like me having to put on my frickin' private investigator gear and like, wait a minute, what could it I wonder where that smell is coming from. I wonder which dog or cat or whatever did this. It's not a cat. the cats are amazing. They go to the cats are so much better than dogs at this because first of all, the cats only go in the one spot, okay? And then they actually take their little cat paws and bury the poo-poo. Oh my God. The dog, I'm just going to go in the living room here, or in this room where the TV is. Now, this is a bad place for O'Neal, because if he is going to do it, I would prefer him to actually go downstairs. It's just concrete because there's no carpeting down there, as I indicated. And then, all right, do it there, and then I'll just clean it up. At least it's downstairs. It's not on carpeting. It's not in a room that's going to be inhabited. And I'll say this, with No Filter Kevin, he anguishes about these things. If there is any type of incident at all in the household, it's real concern for extended time. Okay, so if he finds out, if O'Neal goes number 2 or number 1 downstairs, you don't want No Filter Kevin to find out about it. Okay, because then if he does find out about it, like if I'm just like yesterday, I was discussing it with Jackie. And then so he overheard, and then so later on it comes up. So I heard O'Neal went took a dump downstairs. I go, yeah. He goes, oh man, and he's like painting over it, and I'm like, no big deal. We'll get through this. But he's like, you really got to train that dog, and he's like lecturing me. It's like, you know what? I don't want to get lectured from the guy who shits so violently the Ham's beer into my toilet from the night before that it leaves shit freckles on the underside of the toilet. I want to get past the shit lecture from the guy who, I mean, if I had to have my choice between O'Neal shitting on the floor and Kevin with his violent shit gun ruining my toilet and the underside of my seat, I would prefer O'Neal. O'Neal has more cleanliness positive attributes than you do. So it's a real problem for me for you to be lecturing me about this, considering the sheer horror that I've had to clean up on regular interval with the Ham's Beer sponsored shit gun that I have to deal with from you. So I like to keep it on the down low when O'Neal takes a dump because I don't want to hear it. All right. So then I'm making the lunch and I'm like, oh God, maybe it's the cat. I go, the cat never said this has got dog written all over it. So I go downstairs. I look around the concrete floor of the basement. It's not finished now, like I said, and nothing. I go, okay, well, then this is even more of a problem because that means the epicenter is on the main floor of the household. I go look in one room, nothing. I go into the one room that No Filter Kevin inhabits for 14 hours a day, and actually right next to the spot where he sits is about 6 supersized Tootsie Rolls. And I'm like, oh boy, this is rough. And the whole room stinks. Kevin is not yet awake, but I know that it's not going to be long before Thunderfoot part 2, because Maddie has Thunderfoot, and so does No Filter Kevin, because he doesn't bend his knees when he walks. He just kind of got this that's a cross between a penguin and Frankenstein. And I haven't yet heard it thundering through the upstairs of the house. So I'm like, oh, shit. Well, I got to get this going. I don't want to hear it. So I clean up the turds. I turn on the overhead fan, and it's like, this is pointless. This is just circulating shit air. And I'm like very, very worried about it because, again, I don't want to hear it. And then, but because of what Joe Martinez installed, I left the room, and then I come back and I go, I think it's scrubbing it. It's scrubbing the air at a faster pace. So this is all coming together in one neat little package here. I think that what you did for me, Joe Martinez, is going to add some stability to the household, because the shit smell, it was still there somewhat, but I mean, normally when O'Neal takes a dump like that, it's there for the day. Okay. I don't want to throw open the windows because of the cold, but I think the air scrubber has a lot to do. But so Kevin comes downstairs, and I'm just watching him, and he's strutting around, thump, thump. And I'm just waiting for his nose to wrinkle up and him to go, what the hell, man? It smells like MF shit. What the? And then him giving the finger to the air or something like that. Nothing. Not a thing. So that's good. Thank you, Joe Martinez. I'll keep you posted if there's any more issue. So the general manager of the New York Mets, he's a rising star in sports management. It would be Jared Porter. Okay. So the story that everybody is parking on today, it broke overnight. The general manager of the New York Mets, been there for a month. Jared Porter acknowledges sending explicit images to female reporter when he worked for the Cubs. Okay. So they talk about when you see something like this, it's like, oh, God, here's what's going to happen. Just to the headlines. This guy sent dick pics. She probably didn't want them. And now it's all coming unglued. We're going to see this guy get canceled. He's going to lose his job. Oh, my God, this happened years ago. Then she's coming out of the closet and saying, all right, this is terrible. I'm trying to help people. And I get that. But there's a couple things that I'm not, he might survive this, okay? You could chalk it up to a communication issue because of a couple of parts in this story. All right, so pay attention. Jared Porter, New York Mets, sends dick pics years ago. He's in trouble for it now. ESPN reports on it now.
GNC has all.
That's unfortunate. That is the commercial that I didn't want to save to the audio. And it's still playing. Damn it. You would think I would take extra care to make sure I have these things taken care of. I have the story, but
and I bring the Halo world to life.
Oh, for God's sake. Give it a second. 3.
You have the power to change things.
Yes.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
I've interviewed other places. I've had opportunities.
This is him.
When this one came up, I was so excited. I mean, this is a dream job for me.
For years, Jared Porter seemed destined to be a general manager. But just a month after becoming one for the New York Mets, he faces allegations about explicit text messages he sent in 2016 to a female baseball reporter who was working in the U.S. for a foreign media outlet. Among the texts were dozens the reporter didn't respond to, some with unsolicited lewd photos that we've blurred and blacked out for this story. ESPN first learned about the text messages in 2017 from a source in baseball and then contacted the reporter, but she declined to discuss the texts, saying she feared going public could harm her career.
Okay, that right there. Yeah, I don't want it to harm my career. Okay, right now she's saying, as this because he was working for the Cubs and now he works for the Mets. Now she's saying, I don't want anybody to be subjected to this. So wait a minute. You're saying that all of these years it's been okay for people to be subjected to it, but now since it can't harm you, you're going to look out for others? Does that sound weird? Because I think that's kind of I think it says a lot. It doesn't mean this guy's off the hook, but it does say something about you. Yeah, I don't want anybody to be affected by this, so I'm speaking out 4 or 5 years after the fact because I know that now I can't be in jeopardy in any way. That's kind of bullshit.
Now, no longer in journalism, she agreed to an interview, she said, to try to prevent this from happening again with Porter in a greater position of power.
How brave.
She spoke through an interpreter.
And again, I always take this shit very seriously. I think that this guy Porter, he might be creepy and really screwed up here, but that's a red flag. I don't like that part of the story so far. You know, whenever you hear these stories, you always like tally it up. Who's in the wrong? Oh, that's 5 points for you. You are in deep, deep shit. This person, okay, has no points against him. That's a knock against her, in my opinion, on this story.
Condition of anonymity, citing a fear of backlash in her home country. They met in late June 2016, she said, in a ballpark elevator when Porter was the Chicago Cubs director of pro scouting. He began sending her texts, and they corresponded sporadically for about 3 weeks, him complimenting her responding despite a limited grasp of English. Then, on July 19th, he sent a selfie, and she replied with one of her own. Then Porter said,
Okay, now, two single people. He sends a selfie. She sends a selfie back. That's important, I think, because if you think somebody's hot and you send a picture of yourself just smiling and they send one back to you, that is a reciprocation, okay? Now, that doesn't mean necessarily you bust out your crank and send it at that point, but that does warrant for if you think she's hot and you want to somehow start a relationship with this person. I mean, I don't know anything about having to have a relationship this way, but I would say that would lead you to thinking, oh, well, she might like me. I might have a shot, something like that. So hold on.
On July 19th, he sent a selfie, and she replied with one of her own. Then Porter said, "You're gorgeous. Want more of me?" ? And she texted a laugh and said, "Yes."
Pause. "You're gorgeous. Do you want more of me?" with a question mark. She said, "Yes." Okay, are we on the same page here? I mean, if you're a single person and for all of you Zaniac women who send me pictures and then write, "You want more of me?" and then with a question mark, if I responded with yes, you would then start sending me nudes. I'm totally kidding. That never happens. But you get what I'm saying here. The chick said, "Yes, I do want more of you." Okay. Because I think that that little detail, I think that means something here at some point. Now, he does take it too far, but she did say, "I want to see more of you."
Of her own. Then Porter said, "You're gorgeous. Want more of me?" ? And she texted a laugh and said, "Yes." Porter also laughed, then sent another selfie,
There you go.
followed by a photo of himself on a bed with a bulge in the crotch area of pants.
Okay. It's a real gamble at this point. Okay. If you go from selfie to big bulge, this guy maybe he's packing a howitzer or something like that. If you suddenly go to bulge, that's a real risk, in my opinion. If I were single, I would not play bulge card yet. However, he did ask, "Do you want more of me?" And she did respond, "Yes." It's still, you might want to be a little bit more subtle than going right to your package. But this guy, he went for it.
Sent another selfie, followed by a photo of himself on a bed with a bulge in the crotch area of pants.
I'm glad I don't have to date.
After sending another selfie,
So stupid.
he asked, "Like?"
Like?
She again texted a laugh and said, "Yes."
Okay. He sent a bulge and she said yes. If I'm him, it worked. At this point in time, I hate to say it because you can hear the scary music building below it. And this is obviously, they're trying to knock this guy down here. I already forgot his name. This guy who is the general manager of the Mets, Justin Porter. He sent the bulge and said, "Do you like?" She said yes. Okay. I mean, am I wrong here in saying that he's on the right track?
Another selfie, he asked, "Like?" She again texted a laugh and said yes, adding, "You are not married?" He responded, "Nope."
That's another huge thing. Because if you're then sending the bulge, you asked if she likes, she says yes, and then if she then sends you the, "Hey, are you married?" or "You're not married," and that means she's inquiring. I don't have a problem with any of this at this point in time.
Which picture do you like the most? Want to see more? Those and similar texts that followed from Porter.
I don't think she answered with the want to see more.
Were among the more than 60 he sent over the next 3 weeks that she never responded to.
Okay.
She told ESPN that until then, she thought it would be awkward to say no to Porter's questions, and that if she had a better understanding of the language and culture, she would have realized sooner what was going on.
Okay. I'm not going to dismiss that. I don't think that is, I'm not going to be the guy to say, yeah, whatever, you liked it. That could very well be that language culture wasn't aware of how it works. I don't know. It could very well be this is a because of poor communication skills, all of the shit we just talked about took place. Very well could be. However, that does not mean that this dude, I keep forgetting his name, Jared Porter, he may have thought that she liked it. And she may have been answering that way because what she just said. So that doesn't, at this point, that doesn't mean he's guilty of anything, because he might be under the impression that she wants to see the pics of his pants with his big crank pounding through.
On July 20th, Porter sent a series of photos.
Uh-oh.
The first, one of the 3 World Series rings he won with the Boston Red Sox,
okay,
where he'd risen from intern to pro scouting director. Then 2 photos
bragging
of a bulge in shorts.
Going back to
which he added, "Am I annoying you?" At 2:44 a.m. the next day, Porter texted, "I want to see you." 9:45 a.m.
Uh-oh.
"Do you want to see me?"
Oh boy.
12:51 p.m. "I'm sorry." Porter's
Okay, at this point, he's probably getting that remorse feeling when someone doesn't respond or whatever, and you're like, "Uh-oh!" So he apologizes.
unanswered texting continued, and on August 9th, he and the reporter were in Chicago at Wrigley Field. "I think I just saw you. You're so beautiful." The reporter told ESPN she felt panicky, and she hid to avoid him. A day later, Porter's message: "I'll be in LA this weekend at the best hotel in America. Can you meet me there?" The next evening, Porter texted, "You're missing out." Next, he sent more than a dozen photos of hotel grounds, food, and a bathtub. Then, a shot of pants with a bulge on a bed. And finally, he texted a shot of a fully naked and erect penis.
Oh, there it is. There's the proverbial snake in the grass. Oh, how? How did you manage to? Why? Who gets no response? Text after text, and then pulls the stiff dick card. How could you? How could you possibly do that? Okay, you asshole. What type of stupid son of a bitch who has enough mental acumen and business and business skills and thoughts to be able to lead a gigantic corporation like the New York Mets continuously, despite no response, decides to bust out his big pink crank card. Ugh. What is wrong with you? Holy shit.
About 2 hours later, he sent several brief texts, including, "Are you there? Mad at me?" She told ESPN she got help composing her first reply to Porter in weeks. "This is extremely inappropriate, very offensive, and getting out of line. Could you please stop sending offensive photos or message?" Porter responded, "Oh, I'm sorry. I will stop. I really apologize. Please let me know if you ever need anything work-wise." The next
And then he sends a gif of like a hot chick eating a hot dog.
night, he texted again, "I'm sorry." Porter,
This
who's
guy.
now 41, has been seen for years as a rising star. He's worked in the World Championship front offices of the Red Sox and Cubs, and with the Arizona Diamondbacks for the last 4 years. After less than a month with the Mets, he and his new team pulled off a major trade for star shortstop Francisco Lindor. As Porter ascended to what he calls his dream job, the woman who received his texts returned to her home country and decided to change careers. She told ESPN she has no plans to pursue legal action against Porter, but that despite his apologies in 2016, she didn't think he was truly sorry for what he did.
All right. So, there you go. I mean, what do you think about this? In a statement again, this all broke overnight. The president of the Mets is Sandy Alderson. Sandy Alderson said, I have spoken directly with Jared Porter regarding events that took place in 2016, which we were made aware of tonight for the first time. God, how'd you like to be the boss? You did what? You took a picture of your stiff crank and sent it along? Come on. Jared has acknowledged to me his serious error in judgment, has taken responsibility for his conduct and expressed remorse, and has previously apologized for his actions. The Mets take these matters seriously, expect professional and ethical behavior from all of our employees, and certainly do not condone the conduct described in your story. We will follow up as we review the facts regarding this serious issue. 3 other people interviewed by ESPN said they saw or were told the text or were told of the text at the time. The messages provide a portrait of a rising executive or a reporter with limited grasp. Okay, that's what they already talked about. Oh, boy. So at this point, I mean, it doesn't sound to me like the Mets. I mean, based on that statement alone, it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of just turn the page on it. And I don't know if that has to do with some of the varying nuances of this story that we kind of parked on here while describing it with you, or the fact that she waited so long to say anything about it until, that to me is the biggest problem. I don't want to look out for anybody else until I want to be 100% sure that I won't get in any trouble whatsoever. You know, I don't know. That's a little strange. Still, I just can't get over people, though. I mean, this guy, I mean, I am, God help people who do that. I mean, seriously, why do you have to be such a damn creep? I picture my daughters and I'm like, I just hope that they never have to experience anything on a creepy level that makes them feel uncomfortable in any way. It's just terrible. But yeah, what a weird story that is. It's part of the intro of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Thank you so much for being part of it. I want to remind you that if you own a business and you want me to talk about your business, I have a marketing plan for you. Customized for your business, customized for your budget. Okay? Reach out to me anytime, day or night. I'll get back to you right away. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. On the Shoreliners Striping inbox. And all you got to say is, hey, Zane, this is my business. Tell me what you can do. That's it. And then I'll get to work for you. Okay, that doesn't cost you anything or anything like that. All my deals are minus red tape. And I've got an army of sponsors that will attest to the effectiveness of marketing on this dumpy little podcast that I do from the dormer above my garage in beautiful Hudsonville, Michigan. Eric@ericzaneshow.com if you want more information. Kent County Health Department reminds you that with all the things going on with the pandemic, they are, they're taking on water all the time. Hell, sometimes they'd even say that they're above water, trying to keep the public informed. But if you have any questions about anything COVID related and beyond, accesskent.com/health is where you want to go to. accesskent.com/health for more information on COVID testing, where in line you are, when the next vaccines will be made available, and on and on and on. accesskent.com/health. If you're sitting around like with the family, hey, what do we do to pass the time during the pandemic? It's not like we can go out and do whatever like we used to. You might want to look into getting a set of professional cornhole boards from Cornhole America, a local business based out of Cedar Springs, Michigan. Cornholeamerica.com can put any, and I mean any, design that you choose onto a set of cornhole boards. Okay? Cornholeamerica.com. In fact, they even have your old pal Eric Zane with the really weird-looking hair dye on a set of cornhole boards. I'm all bent over, and where my actual cornhole is where the actual hole is in the board. You got to see it. Go to cornholeamerica.com, and in the search bar, search Eric Zane, and it'll go right to my boards. You can own my cornhole boards with the bags, the yellow and the blue bags, and the two boards. These are made to ACO and ACL tournament specifications. Same exact pro-style quality construction that the pros use. Half-inch cabinet-grade plywood, not the cheap stuff, okay? If you want, you can also order a cornhole wrap for your existing boards, and you can put them on there. They've got accessories, bags, whatever you need, all at cornholeamerica.com. Get yourself a brand new professional-style set of boards from cornholeamerica.com. And finally, for this batch of sponsors, BK Guns and Stuff, servicing weaponry for anyone in the United States. You can get your weaponry to them. 616-902-2447. Customization, repairs, refurbishing, cleaning, whatever it takes, they can help you. 616-902-2447. Leave a message if you have to, or just reach out to them on their Facebook page. You can get there by clicking on their logo at ericzaneshow.com. Okay. Hold on here. I got to make sure I got the emails of the day ready. Hey, by the way, a reminder. Dear Meathead happens tomorrow. So keep that in mind. Always needing questions for Dear Meathead. And I usually forget till like an hour before we get them on that we're doing the segment. Dear Meathead, brought to you, of course, by JM Synthetics. Okay. NFC and AFC championship games. I'm really looking forward to this coming weekend's football. As you know, I think that the Chiefs and the Packers are going to win. However, the thing about the Chiefs is Patrick Mahomes. Now, I mean, the guy suffered a pretty vicious concussion in the game over this weekend against Cleveland this past weekend, and sometimes it takes a long-ass time to get over a concussion, but Patrick Mahomes, did I say Pat? I know his family hates to call him Pat. I know his mom does. Patrick Mahomes, to me, there's no way this guy sits out. Brett Favre was interviewed by the folks at TMZ Sports about this. Favre, in this clip, you can tell he's had about 100 concussions because it takes him an hour to say anything, but he does have some good insight about Patrick Mahomes.
You know, concussions kind of took a back seat with COVID. And quite frankly, it took a star player, the player that the NFL is riding right now to get hurt, to kind of bring.
Boy, is he. You know, the thing about Mahomes is whenever there's a football game, you see all the commercials. The guy is on everything. My God, the amount of money he's making right now.
Concussions back to the forefront. They're not going away. You know, and we've had this conversation before. They're not going away. They're extremely dangerous. We're just finding out. We're just scraping the surface of what it does to the brain, and it's not good. So I hate it for Patrick.
I think he's combining scraping the bottom of the barrel and scratching the surface there. A little mixed metaphor from Brett. The thing about concussions, if I understand this correctly, when the brain hits the inside of the skull, the tissue on the brain becomes compromised, bruised, if you will. So that's one thing. And then if it hasn't yet healed up to its normal state, if that happens again, it's kind of like dropping an apple and then putting it back in the thing, and then it's bruised, and then you drop it again and it hits the same spot, and what was bruised is now split open, and there's juice flying all over the place and bits of the apple. I think that's what they're trying to get at with the brain.
The protocol's in place. Let's see if they follow it. I love Andy Reid. I always want him to succeed. He may have to do it next week without Patrick, because that one, who knows what level of concussion he had. Was it extreme? It didn't look good at all. So,
if I would have edited out all the pauses, the uhs and the ums and the stammering, this clip would have been 6 seconds.
You hate to see it because long-term damage can be very very awful for any player.
This is an independent neurologist having to clear him, even if he feels like he can play, but they don't clear him. He's not going to play next week.
Well, he's going to. I can promise.
What does the independent neurologist do? Because you can't actually look inside of the brain, I don't think, to take a look and see what the hell is wrong. What goes on in this type of testing? I'm not even sure how they do this, but
because I've been there, he's going to feel absolutely 100% ready to play. And if he has, just say he has a headache on Friday, but previous 3 or 4 days, he's fine. Is he going to tell him?
Hell no.
I doubt it. He wants to play. And, for years, up until 10 years ago, there was no protocol in place. And once you felt better, which could have been 3 or 4 hours, you were back out playing.
Wow.
That's not the case anymore.
A lot of these guys who did that, they when they're playing days end, you hear about these just pained existence with all sorts of heartache and broken relationships, and a lot of these guys kill themselves in horrible ways, and it has a lot to do with actually having concussions.
And he will want to play, whether or not he passes the baseline test that he took initially, and the doctors feel he's able. This is a test for the NFL right now to see a star player.
Wow.
in a crucial game. What will happen with their decision?
What would you say to Patrick?
I played
Chad Henney's like, fuck it, sit him. I want to play
321 straight games. It kind of goes against everything that I stood for when I played. But you got to be smart. I was never faced with a decision that he potentially will face this week. And ultimately, the decision may fall on the doctors. And if they choose that he doesn't play, then it's the right move. Because
if you're the doctor that says, yeah, he should not play, and then they sit him and then they lose, oh my God, that football is more important than anything on the entire planet to some people. I would hate to be that doc.
Because of long-term damage. And when you're in the moment and you're young, you're bulletproof, man. But I'm 51 years old, and I wonder what tomorrow will bring because of concussions more than anything.
Yeah.
And at 20, what is Patrick? 24, 25? I had it all figured out. So I urge him and all players to be extremely smart.
What does that mean? Nothing. He's not going to listen. There's no way, because everybody knows that when old guy starts telling young guy what to do, young guy every time is going to do the opposite of what old guy tells him. There is no way in hell Patrick Mahomes is going to miss that game. but maybe he should. That's a little frightening. I'd like to do email of the day. You can always reach out, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. And the email of the day could be about just about anything. As long as I feel like there's something there that we can talk about, I like to go to it. And the email of the day, of course, is brought to you by foreverlawn.mich. Damn it. What an idiot. foreverlawn.com/WMI. They specialize in synthetic grass for your home, for your business. Could be a putting green, could be bocce grass, could be kettle grass. Forever Lawn, West Michigan. Online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. I don't know why I had such a problem with that. Okay, yesterday was another screwed up anxiety attack for your old pal Eric. And so when I get an email like this from John, it's just wind in my sails. Just so you know, as I've always been very, very transparent about this, but I was thrown into anxiety upon getting fired in February 2016, and that whole world of anxiety. And so this is how it's gone. After that happened, and I was panicking, and it was just terrible. It was something I'd never dealt with before, It kind of was a very sudden thing, and I've been very, very in tune with it since then. So I started on a medicine. It's in some cases it's called Lexapro or citalopram, but 10 milligrams of citalopram, and it's a non-habit forming, great medicine that avoids you from having like these crazy highs and lows. And my highs and lows aren't such jagged peaks, but the anxiety rolls in. I've described it that way. And lately, though, it's been getting more and more pronounced, and I've been really having a hard time with it. But what you may not know is I stopped taking the medicine. I may have referenced that at some point in time, but there's a reason for that, because it all ties into the kidney donation. In May of 2019, when I was discussing with Jeffrey about donating the kidney, one of the things we talked about was me taking the medicine, because the transplant team, when they interview you and they find that out, they want to know why. Why are you taking that? And if you then say, well, I've got anxiety, it's just eating me up, they're going to give you a thumbs down, and they're going to reject you. Okay? You're going to increase your chances of getting a rejection. What does that mean? That means Jeffrey's dead. So the idea was, well, now I can tell the story. I lied. When they said to me, so you're taking this citalopram. Are you taking that every, how I go, yeah, I take it once in a while as needed. I wasn't doing any of that. I was taking it every day. And they said, they go, well, why do you, I go, it's not effective if you take it when you need, it's not like an aspirin. I go, I know, it's just a placebo. And they go, well, why don't you stop taking it? I go, no problem. Great. So in order to keep the process going in a positive manner, I then actually did stop taking it, because I didn't then want to say, yeah, okay, no problem, and then find out that I was taking it. That's an even bigger red flag. So I got off of it. I stopped taking it altogether. I actually called my doctor. I go, how do I get off of this appropriately? They said, okay, you take half tab for this amount of time, and then a quarter, or whatever. It's some type of regimen. So you don't just stop. It leaves your system gradually. Well, so then, as the story goes, kidneys donated. Everything's fine. Now, I've been having these horrible, I'm feeling it again. I'm feeling it, and it's eating at me. And so now at the end of the world, I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to start taking the medicine again. I'm going to get back on that. So I reached out to my doc just the other day, and I go, yeah. And I just told him what I told you. I go, yeah, I want back on this medicine. I was happier. I didn't have the anxiety swings like that. And now, I'm kind of not nearly as bad as a lot of people who I know on a personal level who, when they get anxiety, they're in the bed. And everything is terrible, and then that can lead to bigger issues. I'm not there, but it just eats at me like you wouldn't. I mean, you've heard me describe it more and more on this show, and that's because I don't take any damn medicine. So I call the doc and I go, look, doc, I gotta get back on this. So that's happening. And I don't want to. I know that Jeffrey's going to hear this, and he's going to be. He's a fucking worrywart, dude. Relax. We got the job done, and then this is all going to work out. So I don't want you to feel in any way like you're guilty of causing it. Don't worry about it. I'm a big boy. I know what the hell I'm doing. And at the end of the day, we had to get that kidney out of me and into you. Job's done. Now I'm going back to take the medicine. So don't worry about it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to get any text messages, phone calls. You worried about what I had to do to make this happen. Fuck it. Don't worry about it. It's over, and I'm happy. I made that decision myself, so I don't want you, personally, I'm talking to you right now, to feel in any way compromised by it. This is all great. Don't even worry about a thing. So the point of this is it's getting back to the email of the day. I got a great email that is just pumps air and wind into the sails. And it's from John. John Wilson writes this. Good morning, Eric. Just want to start off by saying my grammar and punctuation sucks. Looks good to me, John. Just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you giving us the show as much as you do. I've been a listener/viewer since the kitchen studio, which was post Freeburn Hot Wings, pre-BBL, and then to the living room, and now the fear bunker. I guess he just skipped the BBL. I don't blame you. A couple things I really enjoy. Is you incorporating the family. My God, Jackie sounds just like Diana on the phone. I don't notice that. I hear people tell me that all the time. Also, really enjoy your impressions of. Oh, man. I got the blues, man. Kenny in Nashville. No, it's legendary. The whole Kenny thing has evolved over years to what it is right now. Kenny describes that he sounds like a southern widow. I also love how you try to give back to the community as much as you can. Well, that's because you guys lead me to that. Come on. Thank you for keeping it real. See you at 8:15, which is crazy because that's at about the time that I started today because I got a late start. Thank you, John. That really meant a lot. That really, really does. Thank you. And then emailer Tim finally has sent something that isn't shitty to earn a email of the day honors with my friends at Forever Lawn, West Michigan. This is regarding the podcast from January 18th. I think that was show 504. 504. On that show, I had a story about Costco with these people that were getting all pissed off when they were trying to cash out, and the worker going, sub. New guy comes in, and that's how they de-escalated at Costco. And then also at home, I had to do de-escalation with No Filter Kevin /NFK, which I kind of want to get into the nomenclature of the NFK as more and more people get. So it's just easier to say. Earlier, I was with the NFK. He got all pissed off about something, and I had to turn the heat down on that thing. With that as a backdrop, Tim writes, I was a little late this morning, but I had a thought about NFK and the Costco de-escalation strategy. You should find an outside-of-the-box manager at Costco and have them give the NFK, a job as an escalation manager. Whereas if an employee has an issue with a customer, they call in NFK to drop some rage and some creative sign language and some terrible obscenities, and let's see how things shake out. Oh, my God. Yeah, sub! And then Kevin penguins over. hey, motherfucker shit, motherfucking shit, middle finger, motherfucking shit, middle finger, fuck you, Mugu guy, pants shit, fuck you, N-word, motherfucking shit, fuck shit. Oh, my God. That would be incredible. Thank you, emailer Tim. You have earned a co-email of the day award from my friends at Forever Lawn West Michigan, online at foreverlawn.com/WMI. Well done. Hey, the Patreon is still there. It'll always be there. Thank you to the 272 of you that are currently on board with it. It has been increasing, thanks in part to some people that are trying it out and maybe converting their regular memberships to a yearly and saving 10%. Patriot Nick has been signing people up with his amazing trivia games. Thank you for that. So, it's slowly but surely on the climb. If you would, if you could, I know it's asking a lot, but it is extremely important, and it moves the meter and keeps things growing on the show. Try it out. It's just a challenge. I'm just asking you to try it out for a month. I put my heart and soul into this thing just as much as I do the free podcast every day, and that's the only way you can do it. You got to totally commit. So $5 or $10 a month. Try it out. If it sucks, you can cancel it, and then we'll call it a day. And then maybe down the road, it might be I might add something to it that might be something that you'd be interested in. But try it out for just $5 or $10 a month. The $5 is the full audio podcast, a complete catalog. Everything I do, I put in audio form. And then the $10 a month is all of the audio, all of the video, and all of the live streams. Okay? And then if you like it, you can also convert that monthly to a yearly and save 10%. For folks who've been monthly for a long, long time, do that. Convert it if you know you're going to keep it. You might as well and save yourself, if you're on tier 2, $12 a month. If you're a tier 1, $6, $12 a month, $12 a year, or $6 a year. It's $108 if you do the 10% yearly deal for tier 2, and $54 if you do the yearly on tier 1. All right, patreon.com/Eric Zane for all that I post up there, including the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Thank you. Okay, mortgages. It's never been a better time to get a mortgage. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Hang on. Oh, God, I made a mistake of not bringing a bottle of water here doing this show today. Dummy. Anywhere in the U.S., call upon Mario if you are in the market for a mortgage. That doesn't mean call Mario and just say, hey, get me a mortgage. That means just call and interview the guy. See if he passes your sniff test, okay? And go ahead and call upon a couple other people that you know who might do mortgages and see how Mario fares. I mean, what he has to offer. The mortgage is a big-ass deal. You don't want to just go with try one guy and then not even give anybody else a shot. That's all I'm asking for you to do is let Mario be part of your information process when it comes to who you're going to work with when it comes to getting a mortgage, okay? He's going to win every time because he's amazing and really, really good at it. 231-332-6505. Or just get to his website by going to mine and clicking on the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage logo, NMLS number 3035. Anywhere in the USA, you can get a mortgage through Mario. Things are growing well for him because he had originally just set up shop in Muskegon. Now Mario is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And just so you know, there are lots of Van Dyke mortgages all around the country. Make sure you specify the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, okay? That's where you want to go. Not that they're all great, but, well, Mario's paying the freight for the ads, for God's sake, so I want you to give it back to him that way. And don't be afraid to ask a dumb question if you're a newbie to the mortgage game. A lot of people, they don't know what the hell's going on. They don't even know what a mortgage is. And that probably means that your credit is in the dumper because you're not really, you haven't built up your credit score. You've had something bad happen to you, divorce, bankruptcy, not good with money. Mario can help you through all of that. Get in shape with F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. The letter F, the number 4, the number 5. F45training.com/Byron Center. In Michigan, as we inch our way through the pandemic, the F45 has been given the green light for the more of the group setting. That can change at any time, obviously. If it does, they can pivot and make it so that it's less groupy. All right? I know a lot of you are into group action. I'm talking about working out. They have an exercise leader that can take you through all the workouts. You're going to love this, and man, they're going to kick your metabolism into high gear. You're going to lose pounds. You're going to get strong. F45training.com/Byron Center. And then there's Steve Prince, retired U.S. Army Major Steve Prince. Okay? He's going to teach you all you need to know to get your CPL training courses with Prince Arming. Okay? The next classes, January 30, that's a Saturday. January 31, that's a Sunday. They start at 8 a.m., very specific in locale. Like if you live in freaking Kalkaska, Michigan, you're probably not going to come down to the class. But if you're in and around West Michigan, this is what you need to do to be able to get your pistol license. You got to take the class. You don't even need to own a gun, okay? Just take the damn class. That's the first thing you got to do. It's going to set you back $125. Call Steve at 616-204-1705. PrinceArming.com. Okay, this one's weird. I don't know if I would have done this, but with the Capitol riots that went down, and by the way, there isn't going to be shit that's going to happen with the inauguration. Did you see how many National Guard women and men are there? 25,000, and they've got it set up in the Capitol where it's like layers, you know. There's these giant military vehicles. The whole area of DC is shut down. It is going to be secure. Quite a contrast to the shit show that was January 6th. My God, I don't know what happened there. I really think, and I said this the day after it happened. If you remember, if you were to go back to the January 7th show, I said it wouldn't surprise me if I was very suspicious of the police response. I think there was something going on there. I don't know what. I don't know if it was an inside job, if somebody was ordered to stand down, if it was all set up to make it look bad. I have no idea. All I know is that it was a absolute mess, and heads need to roll. And it wouldn't surprise me if we find out more as time passes. I'm not going to speculate anything further than it just seemed weird. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. It just was odd. But when that was all going on, there was a young girl, I don't even know where she was, somewhere, who was watching on TV, and her name is Helena Duke. And Helena Duke saw family members on TV. She's from Massachusetts, and she's like, uh-oh. Now, the family had lied to Helena Duke about what they were going to be doing. And so Helena turns on the TV, or on Twitter, she sees a video, and she goes, oh, my God, there's my mom and my dad and my aunt. What is going on here? And then in the clip, Helena Duke, the 18-year-old, sees somebody, the mom, in fact, do something to one of the security guards. Like you see this hand come in, and I don't know if it was like an eye gouge or what, but the security guard, this black chick, balls up her fist and punches Helena Duke's mom right in the nose, and her nose explodes. I mean, like immediately, just crazy. So the security guard, I'm not faulting the security guard. The security guard was in a terrible spot, Capitol Police officer, and with all these idiots around her. So she breaks Helena Duke's mom's nose. The dad is like, oh, what the fuck? And then the aunt is and they ended up getting the security guard, the Capitol Police officer, out of there. Okay, that's it, right? No. You see, Helena Duke is an 18-year-old with a real axe to grind. She is she's an out of the closet lesbian who's way woke. So over the past year, Helena Duke has been going to like Black Lives Matter rallies. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anybody assembling. I'm just saying she would go to the Black Lives Matter rallies and her family would give her all sorts of shit and say, look, hey, you shouldn't be going to this because that's a dangerous place to be, which I agree. It is a dangerous place to be. But she also has an axe to grind because they like kicked her out of the house because she's a lesbian, apparently. So, okay, dumb, woke chick, mad at parents, axe to grind. What does she do? Oh, God. She outs the mom, the dad, and the aunt. Like, here's their names. Look at, they're here causing trouble. Well, the shit is rolling downhill now, and the mom has lost her job, and oh my God. Ooh, boy. And it's really weird because Helena Duke actually took the clip of with the mom getting punched, her mom, and she wrote, "Hi, Mom. Remember the time you told me I shouldn't go to BLM protests because they could get violent? ... This you?" Uh-oh. And then she followed it up with stills of the mom with her nose in a million pieces, with and then the stills of the dad and the aunt. And she wrote, "Hi, this is the liberal lesbian of the family who's been kicked out multiple times for her views and for going to BLM protests to care what happens to me. So, Mom," and then she gives the name, the dad, Mom, Therese Duke, Uncle Richard Lorenz. Okay, so it wasn't the mom and the dad. It was the mom and the uncle and the aunt. Uncle is Richard Lorenz. Aunt is Annie Lorenz. Or Lorenz. Oh, boy. Okay. Now, I don't know enough about anything to know what's going on. I don't know what this kid's been through, and I'm not going to take anybody's word on anything before I make a stand on any one thing. But all I know is that fucking, I don't know, man. Blood is thicker than water. I mean, unless she's like abused or some shit like that, God, I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned with that. I would have. Let me just say this. I would need to know more information before I could side with Helena Duke for destroying her mom's life. This is your fucking mother. Since Duke's tweet went viral, she's received immense love and support from several people, as you would expect. Battle lines being drawn, obviously. Oh, boy. Here you go. This is Helena Duke being interviewed by TMZ. These are those two dudes on TMZ. They're way woke too. The old guy and then the black dude with the long hair. They're interviewing Helena Duke. On here, chat. I haven't. And it's funny.
Video went viral
when I recorded this. I didn't listen to it. So me hearing it, I'm hearing this for the first time right now with you.
This video went viral when you posted it. Because people were at first just laughing at the fact that you were calling out your mom. I guess she had said to you that you shouldn't go to BLM protests last year, and then here she was getting punched. But what is that when you discovered that did you know ahead of time she was going?
No, I had no idea that she was there. She actually told me that she was going to get a medical procedure.
By the way, she's 18. Over under on how many times she says literally. I'm going to say twice.
Procedure done with my aunt.
Well, that's interesting. Why wouldn't she tell you the truth?
And I think she knew that what she was doing was wrong, maybe. So she turned her location off and went anyway. So I would have had no idea she was there if that video of her getting punched in the face.
I'd have done the same thing. If I'm a MAGA supporter and I've got a daughter who's a BLM supporter and you're afraid she might rat you out, I'd have done the same damn thing.
This wasn't viral on Twitter.
Was she radicalized by Donald Trump, or was this before?
I definitely think so. She's been a Democrat.
I feel like I'm officially in murky waters with this.
Her whole life up until the Trump presidency. where after about the first year of his presidency, she had turned from a Democrat to a radically right person. And it was very unsettling. And the things that she would say, I was taken back by. I was like, what are you talking about? Because she did come up with a lot of conspiracy theories. And I'd present her with like educated points and facts that I have like studied or researched because I want to be as like unbiased as possible. And she would just be like, nope, that's not right. And it was just all unsettling because it happened really quickly.
Any regrets, or are you standing strong?
No, I don't think I regret doing what I did. I have gone through a little bit of like guilt, but seeing as I really think that what they did was horrific, and the facts that other family members came forward and were like, we would have done the same thing, or we were about to out them anyway, it would have gotten out. And I think it's almost liberating what I did, because my mom has been.
All right, she's a bitch, and I think this is all horseshit, and here's why. Because you know what? Not everybody who was at that fucking rally was acting like an asshole. Now, I don't really know the particulars about what was going on there, and I saw them in this video. I mean, the mom was there, and you saw her grab the chick, and she got punched in the nose. But, I mean, I don't think that – I mean, this wasn't – they weren't storming the Capitol, okay? They weren't going in there and wrecking everything. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't – I don't think that the punishment fits the crime here. Your family members going to the MAGA rally – and them being there and involved in this scenario, and we don't know for sure. Well, we don't know anything what they did. They were just standing there, and then the mom, I don't know the reason why she grabbed the Capitol cop, and besides that, what they were doing in the clip isn't anything at all like what happened to the people when they were storming the Capitol. It's just nothing. They were just there. You can't sit there and destroy every person who was at that rally. I know people who were at that rally, and I still talk to them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're radicalized and they're crazy or anything like that. Some of those people sure as shit were, but I don't know, man. I think she's an asshole, and I think that's all bullshit. And this is going to come back to bite her in the ass, just my personal opinion. You see, this is another example of me zigging and zagging. I always try to keep it as real as I possibly can based on the facts. And she's fucking wrong. There is no way in hell she should have done that. And she's going to hate her life when she's about 30, you know? Because now she's lucky if she ever speaks to her family ever again. Seriously. And sure, she's talking about how the family did this and this and this to me. Well, that's your side of it. I would love to hear the other side of it. So I'm not going to cast judgment on anybody other than her for this bullshit maneuver. I think that is all crap to out her family like that. And then the mom loses her job, and the mom is screwed. She's done. Holy crap. And again, in the video, you see her arm kind of come into but you can't really tell exactly what's happening. There's a lot there. And I don't know. I think there's a lot wrong with what she did. I have a problem with that. As always, your questions, comments, concerns, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I don't always see them on the Facebook post on the comments, but if you do want to share something about that, because that's kind of a hot button issue. Some of you might be like, God, Zane, how can you possibly say that? You already denounced Trump. It's like, yeah, but this is way different. This isn't about that. This is about these people don't want her to know that they're going to the thing. They get the mom gets punched in the face, and then this chick adds the insult to the injury. I don't know about that. I don't like that at all. Okay. I wanted to get to this yesterday, but ran out of time. I guess my question is, how did this happen? The guy flying from Chicago's O'Hare International Airport to California 3 months ago, he's supposed to be leaving on October 19th. And Aditya Singh, 36-year-old man, was a little concerned about going back to California because of the amount of COVID and that it's just running wild there. So he got frightened and decided to not fly home. And he had no plan. No, this is a miracle. This is like Amazing Race Airport Edition. I don't know how he did it. Aditya Singh said, okay, I've got no means to get anywhere. I have no money. I have no bags. I have absolutely nothing. Well, he's got his wits, and I just don't know how he pulled it off, but he somehow managed to hide in a concealed area of the airport that he wasn't allowed in, shouldn't have been there. Inside of the airport, he stayed there in the restricted area where he's not supposed to be for 3 months. And he was discovered on Saturday. They go, hey, we've been, how what the fuck? Singh arrived at O'Hare on a flight from Los Angeles. Actually, I'm getting this wrong. He arrived at O'Hare on October 19th and had lived in the airport's security zone ever since, prosecutors allege. I guess I am getting it right. He arrived at O'Hare on a flight from Los Angeles on October 19th and then just stayed there. What? So I guess he was scared because of COVID everywhere and just didn't leave the airport. It was only when 2 United Airlines employees approached Singh and asked to see his identification that he was finally busted. And by the way, this guy looks like, oh my God, he's got the, if you've ever seen Patriot Nick with the giant squirrel's nest beard, he looks like that, except he's bald on top completely. I think Nick has hair, right? Nick, are you bald? I forget. Maybe this guy does look just like Patriot Nick. Yeah, Nick does have a little Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda looks like Nick looks like the trainer for the Al-Qaeda soccer team. And that's what this guy looks like too. Singh revealed his face mask and he goes, oh, no, I've got my ID badge. But he had stolen that. He had stolen that from an employee somehow. He was wearing it around his neck. Assistant State's Attorney Kathleen Haggerty said in a bond court on Sunday. The badge is believed to have belonged to an operations manager who reported it missing on October 26th. Singh is said to have found the badge in the airport. And so, well, nobody's using this. I think I'll just hang out here in order to live in the facility. He had been relying on food given away by other passengers. But I don't think I've ever been in an airport and seen someone begging for food. For 3 months. After the employees alerted authorities, police took Singh into custody just after 11 a.m. on Saturday inside Terminal 2 near Gate F12. The California local told officers he was scared to go home due to COVID. Cook County Judge Susanna Ortiz seemed in disbelief at the prosecutor's account of events. She says, so if I understand you correctly, you're telling me that an unauthorized non-employee individual was living within a secure part of the airport from October 19th to, excuse me, to January 16th and was not detected? I want to understand you correctly. Dude lives in Orange, the suburb of Los Angeles of Orange, has no criminal background, has a public defender. He lives with roommates. He has a master's degree in hospitality. Well, that's how he did it. He knows how to be hospitable. He did it for himself, but he has no job. Remains unclear what brought him to Chicago in the first place. You know, some people are going to be like, he's Al-Qaeda, man. He was plotting. Judge Ortiz set bail conditions barring Singh from stepping foot in the airport again. He's due back in court January 27th. He's like, thank God, I don't have to go back to California. The court finds these facts and circumstances quite shocking for the alleged period of time that this occurred, being in a secured part of the airport. How'd you like to be the airport manager? The red ass on that guy or girl would be like, how the fuck did you let this guy do this? Did anybody even see him once? You know, and then the badge, it's probably like a white woman, and no one even thought to check the ID badge. Being in a secured part of the airport under a fake ID badge, allegedly based upon the need for airports to be absolutely secure so that people feel safe to travel. I do find these alleged actions do make him a danger to the community. Wow. Singh's been charged with felony criminal trespass to a restricted area of an airport and a misdemeanor theft. Chicago Department of Aviation says it's still under investigation. I don't know what else they're going to find out. This gentleman did not pose a security risk to the airport or to traveling in public. Well, you see the guy who's like taking a sponge bath in the sink? I mean, this is 3 months. I mean, the only person I know who has gone that long without taking a shower is NFK. He's got him beat by about 5 years. So, all right. More on this, to be sure, when the as more comes out about this. But what a weirdo story that was. Hey, folks, I do cameos, and my latest I did was for Matt Kuipers, the brother of bowling legend Kevin Kuipers. If you want to hire me for a cameo, do so at cameo.com/Eric Zane. It's well worth it to look at my latest one of Matt Kuipers. It included a visual aid with a picture of Matt Kuipers. That's a new way to have some fun. If you hire me for a cameo and you want me to roast somebody, send me a picture via email. Hey, I hired you on Cameo. You'll see it, but here's the picture of so-and-so. Because when I have that type of fodder, I can really light into the person. Okay? So cameo.com/Eric Zane. Doesn't have to be a roast. It could actually be a nice message, birthday message, any type of celebration, congratulatory message. Even do them for young kids, which are rated G. Okay, I've had some say, "Hey, my 5-year-old loves O'Neill. Do a cameo with O'Neill." It's like, okay, great. He eats poop. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. All right. As I indicated earlier on the show, Joe Martinez at the house to install the Remy Halo. The Remy Halo, REME Halo, costs $750. If you mention my name, you get it for $650. It takes him about a half of an hour to install the damn thing. He drills a hole into the little sheet metal of your furnace/air conditioning unit. The damn light gets installed. He sticks it into there and he drills it in. It's secure. And then the air moving through your system hits these lights, which are special lights. They're perfect light, doing all sorts of light things, killing viruses, bacteria, pathogens that float through the air, dust, dander, microbes that can make you sick. People who have asthma have experienced better breathing because of a device like this. If you don't believe me, look it up. Remy Halo reviews, and you'll see a long list of how people are like, "Oh, this thing is just a lifesaver." You'll notice it right away because the air in this house is entirely funkified with, pet dander, O'Neill taking a dump wherever the hell he wants. No filter Kevin turns on the shit gun daily and sprays a big dose of Ham's diarrhea on the underside of the toilet. There's just pathogens floating everywhere in this house. As soon as he turned that damn thing on, within an hour, the air is circulated in the house. And my God, it is incredibly better and less of a problem. And I just know that I'm breathing cleaner air. You can too. Hire Joe to install it. Mention the show, save $100, 616-516-8579. And remember,
tu madre es una puta.
Say that to Joe when you sign up. You're like, what is that? That's my forbidden Spanish with Joe Martinez. That's Joe.
Tu madre es una puta.
Joe says your mother's a whore.
Tu madre es una puta.
Tu madre es una puta. Thank you, Joe. Hey, good news if you're Jacob or Jason Bennett. These guys have been on the show for more than a year, doing flooring installations for Zane Show podcast listeners. I have the basement nearly ready to go. I just got to paint and we're done. I've been working hard in the room. So I know what flooring I'm going to buy. I'm going to go over to Johnson's Carpet One, the discount outlet where Kent dropped the E at a U works, and buy some flooring on the cheap there. That's a freebie for you. If frickin' Darwin would get off of his ass and get back on the podcast, I could talk about you more regularly. But I'm going to buy all of what I need, all my supplies. I leave them downstairs. Jacob and Jason come over and install it. And then I just pay for the installation. That's how it works. No frills, no red tape. They're not going to scam you in any way. This is another great local startup business. And I want you to call them when you want your flooring installed. Anywhere in West Michigan, they will travel and give you a free measurement/estimate. That's all you do. You call 616-318-0167 or go to their website, bennettflooringinstallation.com, and then say, hey, can you come out? All right, we'll be there in 5 days, whenever they have an opening. They measure that. That doesn't cost you anything. They go home. They do a little math, send you the estimate of what it's going to cost to get all of that in flooring installed. Could be hardwood, could be whatever type of vinyl planks or laminates or carpeting or you name it. They do it all. Ceramic, any type of flooring, they are the experts. BennettFlooringInstallation.com, 616-318-0167. There you go. They like to post on their website a lot of photos. So if you go to BennettFlooringInstallation.com, there's usually a spot where it's like before and after pictures and stuff like that. So they do an amazing job. You will love them, I promise. Okay. Boy, this last story is it's tough. It is the end of the story of Tim Coates, who I think probably lives 2 miles from here. I've probably interacted with this guy at one point or another. I doubt that. I would know it. Maybe I was maybe I was in mire with him at some point, but this guy is in deep, deep shit, was sentenced yesterday. I've been following the story since it broke in March of 2020. 2020? Or was it 2019? I'm not sure. It might have been 2019. The Coates family, boy, I still don't know what happened, and I think that's the big question. What in the hell were you thinking, Tim Coates, and this entire family of misfits? Because just so you know, this is how it unfolded. They have had a son, he passed, who has a developmental disability, and his brain operated on the level of a 2-year-old. And it was a cold day, and the daughter took a picture of the kid who is in the pool. It's freezing. The water's icy cold. The kid, I think there was, I don't know if there was any problem with this, but he used to be restrained. They used to use like some type of apparatus to keep his arms at his side. And I don't know if that was to keep him from hurting himself or what. But the kid managed to get into the above ground pool on top of the cover. But still, he sinks and he's just standing there. And you see the video of the kid, he's got the helmet on and he's in the cold ass water. Now, imagine you've got a kid with developmental disabilities. He's in the pool. That's alarms going off. Get him out of there. I mean, that's the wrong place to be. And the kid, the sibling, took pictures, sent it to dad, and said, "Hey, he's in the pool again." And the dad's like, fuck, I'm at work. He used to be a professor at GRCC, a local community college. And then time passes, and the dad responds with, "Hey, what's the freak doing?" They would call him the freak. And by the way, I don't know if that is done with malice. They claim that was a pet name, which it could be in a family. And you know, I don't know if they hated the kid so much that they called him a terrible name. I don't think that's the case at all. Okay, but then again, maybe I have no idea. I'm just going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. But the reason why I bring it up is because they made that a point of this story every time they talked about it. They called him a freak, and it's like, well, I call my kids dum-dum all the time, you know, whatever. It's It may or may not be a malicious thing, or it may or may not be a term of endearment. I don't know. Seems bad on the surface, I'll tell you that. But I think that is not the issue. The issue here is you've got kid in water that he's going to get hypothermed or quickly, which could kill him, or worse, something bad's going to happen. It did, and he's going to die. Drowning. That happened. And it happened because of the negligence of this stupid family of fucking butt fucks who are responsible for this kid's death. In my opinion, the whole family needs to be locked up. Every single one of them who's involved in this story. The piece of shit mom, the piece of shit dad, the piece of shit daughter, all pieces of shit should be facing prison. Tim Coates faced the music yesterday, and the judge threw the book at him.
Former Grand Rapids Community College professor is headed to prison for the drowning of his teenage son who had autism. Timothy Coates was sentenced to 2 to 15 years in prison for manslaughter and 1 year for child abuse. His son, Sam Coates, died in March of 2019 after getting into the family's freezing cold above-ground pool. He had the cognitive ability of a 2-year-old. Investigators say that Coates' daughter texted him a photo of Sam in the pool, and he replied, quote, "Make sure the freak is okay." Coates later said that was a fun-hearted nickname. After the teen's death, authorities say that Coates and his wife, Michelle, continued to fill Sam's Ritalin prescription and used the drugs themselves. The judge said today that he had received several letters.
That's it. And then the mom, I mean, the fact that all these people are aware that the kid's in the pool and no one does anything. I mean, how can you see a restrained, developmentally disabled with the brain of a 2-year-old, freezing cold day in the pool, and not one motherfucker lifts a finger to help him? How does that even happen?
From the Coates family, from coworkers and church members.
And the fact that after the kid died, they kept filling up the Ritalin. Now, I don't even know what that does, but apparently that does something for you, or I don't know how that works. The medicine affects people who don't. If you don't need it and you take it, there's I don't know, you get high? I have no idea. I've never done this, but that's all bullshit that they were doing that too.
The judge said today that he had received several letters from the Coates family, from coworkers and church members on his behalf, but it did not sway his decision.
Good.
So if there's any...
Who are these assholes coming out of the woodwork saying, spare this guy, he's a good guy? Bullshit. We have rules. And you are responsible for this kid's death. I'm glad the judge didn't hear it, listen to all these morons trying to talk him out of it.
But it did not sway his decision.
So if there's any thought out there that you are not responsible for the crimes for which you now stand convicted, everybody needs to put that off to the side right now, because you've accepted responsibility for that.
I love that. That's good.
Timothy Coates was also sentenced to between 2 and 4 years in prison for using his son's Ritalin. His wife, Michelle, was previously sentenced to 21 days in jail on those same charges.
Yeah, she's a dumb bitch, too. This whole family is stupid. Screw the Coates family. In fact, there you go. There you go. We have awarded. Congratulations. Silver lining. You just won an award. You just won an award. In fact, I got to add family to it. Tim Coates and family, you have won the coveted asshole of the day. You're the asshole of the day. You're such a fucking moron. You're going to prison. Your asshole's gonna be the size of a coffee can. Tim Coates and family, asshole of the day. There you go. All right, it's going to be a real clash of the Titans on Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia. as Kevin in Muskegon shakes off the dust against Dale. It's Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia. I'll be doing that at 10:30 Eastern Time. Thanks for being part of this podcast. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you down the road. Bye-bye.